Hello to everyone, my name is Gregor and welcome to a new Elliott wave analysis surfing the Elliott waves, where I will look at some of the most interesting developments for this week. This video has been brought to you by Orbex. I will look at dollar index, gold, German DAX, pound yen and dollar versus Mexican peso. Now we are seeing a very strong move to the upside on US dollar across the board, and the main reason is obviously a very hawkish Fed, while the other central banks are not hawkish to the same degree. So Fed is much more aggressive, and this is what is driving the markets, because as you know, this also has a very strong bearish impact on stocks. So yields are rising, stocks are coming to the downside, and as a result we are seeing US dollar coming higher, and even more importantly we are seeing gold coming to the downside and other commodities turning down, which is even more supportive for the US dollar. So I want to give you the first update firstly here on US dollar index. Now we are approaching these highs here from this was back from 2017, and then you have this 2020 high. So it looks like that there can be some very strong resistance in the near term. Maybe this wave 4 could still be then in play, especially if we will not pass these levels around 104. So that's a very strong resistance, but eventually I think that at some point we will see dollar index breaking that highs, while the euro dollar will drop towards parity. So if we look here on two wave counts, actually, now the first interpretation suggests that this could still be very big wave D, and you can expect wave E retracement. Or maybe wave 4 has already finished here and we will continue straight to new highs. However, even in such case, if I'm tracking here an impulsive rise from that lows, well, I would still be expecting a pullback. So let me give you here this alternate view, which is a very bullish count. Okay, but also it suggests that we could be running into some late stages of current overextended move. So here could be wave 1 for a flat formation, then you have very nice and strong typical wave 3, and you could then be aware of this upcoming wave 4 retracement. So there definitely will be some pullbacks. There were also pullbacks in the previous setbacks, obviously within this uptrend. So there is a risk that we will see some slowdown here. Also, we could be hearing soon again a lot of hawkish from the ECB, which is waking up for the last few weeks. So if this will continue, if they will start to sound more aggressive, well, euro dollar, as you know, could maybe find some support, even if just temporary, and this will have the impact on US dollar, because it has the most correlation with the euro, obviously, because of weightening. Now let's take a look also on gold. Now gold on a big picture still trapped in a very big consolidation here. In my opinion, it can be even seen here as a double top formation, so there is a risk that market will continue to the lower side of this range. I'm still tracking this wave 4 to be a triangle, maybe even a flat, but at this stage it's not important, because in either case we are tracking this third leg to the downside. So either we are going to see wave C or wave 3 of wave C here to the downside, because as you know, in flat correction, well, this wave C should be made by 5 waves, right? Well, in a triangle you will see only 3 waves. So in either case there is room for 1850, but maybe even 1780 area. Okay, so I'm thinking about more weakness here. Looking at the 4-hour chart, well, we came very nicely here below this trend line support, so looks like that bearish impulse is definitely here in the cards and ready to see more weakness after any short-term rallies. Now here's also a very nice technical chart, potential head and shoulders, not the perfect or textbook pattern, I should say, but still you had this upper parallel trend line that limit the upside here. You have this bullish channel also, so everything came very nicely at 2000 psychological level, around perfect 61.8%. so that was a textbook stuff up there, and I'm not surprised actually that we are seeing weakness. Also notice that we are seeing gold silver ratio moving to the upside, and normally when that's the case, well, it usually signals that metals are in a downtrend. Okay. Also watch out here for dollar versus Chinese yuan. Always when not always, but usually when Chinese yuan is trading lower, well, gold is trying to track it. Okay, now let's take a look also on German DAX. Now I know that stocks are in very strong risk off mode, here it's not a surprise that even DAX is coming slightly to the downside. But what is interesting is that despite this current drop, well, the S&P 500 is already testing some serious supports from a month back or so, while German DAX is still far away from it. Okay, so what I'm thinking is that S&P 500 is approaching some very nice support. It could see obviously a 40,000, maybe even retested, but I think that in the next weeks we will see some price stabilization. So at the same time, I think that German DAX could also find some support. And what I'm looking at here on a weekly chart is potentially 3 waves down for wave A, and you would be expecting 3 waves up for a wave B. And you can see that that was still only first rally, and now you are in a wave B setback. So here I have a very detailed wave count on the 4-hour time frame, and you can see that I can very nicely count 5 waves up here from that March lows. So that was a very nice 5 waves up, and now we are tracking a counter trend movement. I've been looking for a retracement projecting this 13,300 13,600 area as a potential support. We already reached the upper side of this range. So far it appears very nice support. So if we suddenly rally by the end of the week and we go back above 14,000, even better, back above this swing high here at 14,150, well, then I think that this market will see even more gains and that we are going to see higher swing low. So I would be looking higher then. So despite all of the risk that we are seeing across the board, I'm watching German DAX very closely what will happen here in this range. If we are going to see a sharp break below and daily, maybe even better, or weekly close below this second support, then I think that we are going to revisit these levels. But for now, I still think that so far the market respects this area quite nicely. Now let's take a look also on pound yen. Well, pound has been one of the weakest lately. Also, it was some weak data, economic data, so maybe hawks were put slightly on the sideline from investors or speculators. So this is what is driving obviously pound to the downside, but obviously we are also seeing the response from Japanese yen. As you know, there were some speculations that yen is that Bank of Japan will actually maybe change some policy, they will intervene. So this is also what might be the reason for a temporary reversal here. Also looking at the very big picture here, well, it can be here very nice an ABC rally. More importantly, you can count 5 waves up from that lows. Okay, so from that pandemic low. So even if we are going to see much higher in prices in years to come, well, you still have this 5 waves up, meaning that 3 wave setback can be in the cards. So let's go to even daily chart. Well, notice that this move recently came out of a triangle, and I've been talking about and always warning, whenever we are seeing moves out of a triangle, there can be a sharp moves, yes, but usually a lot of traders will try to jump into this trend, which is actually already approaching its end. Okay, because moves out of a triangle are usually final in a sequence, because triangles, you know, can occur in a wave 4, can occur in a wave B, but moves out of a triangle meaning are fifth waves, final leg of an impulse or motive wave, or you see C wave, final leg of the corrective price action. So in either case, you should be aware that whenever we are seeing a strong breakout of a triangle, that at some point market can surprise, because the overcrowded move is usually reversed. So I'm not surprised to see this strong reversal. It appears like a very nice impulse. So I'm thinking about deeper price action after rally. Now looking here on on the 1 hour time frame, here's a very detailed wave count. You can clearly see that there is a 5 waves down, very nice extended wave free in the middle. So we have some fib support here on psychological level around 160, so maybe some price stabilization. Of course, I would be even willing to look for potential opportunities on the short side if we will see a corrective subdivision, meaning if we'll see a 3 wave or a 7 swing move back into this one of the resistance levels. Okay, so for now it's still time. I think that intraday bears are pointing for more weakness, but just be aware of this recovery, this rally. Okay, now finally let's take a look on dollar Mexican peso. Now crude oil found some support, I believe around $95. So if crude oil can really continue higher, maybe even possibly towards 109, which was swing high from 2 weeks back or so, well, if that would be the case, then dollar Mexican peso could again face resistance. Now if you look at this daily chart, I've been talking about this one as well in our videos few weeks back. So if crude oil will be looking for more gains, then watch out this trend line here. It's not precisely drawn here, okay, but you can see that we made a very nice breakout here, and now we are coming back to the upside with 3 waves. So I think that there is potential resistance. If stocks will suddenly stabilize, I think that this market could easily see much more weakness. So it's a do-die zone for current rally, but overall I think that later this year we will break down these levels here from that was from the start of 2021. Okay, traders, thank you very much for your attention. I hope that you enjoyed this video and talk to you soon. Bye.